Hey designers, let's create a product animation in After Effects. Let's get started. I've created a 1920 by 1080 composition. Now, let's import the files. To begin with, we'll start with the orange flavor. Select the orange bottle, orange fruit, and the flying leaf PNGs and import them. Next, drag and drop them onto the timeline. Now, let's adjust their scale, position, and rotation. First, select the bottle PNG, press R for rotation, and rotate it to your preference. Next, select the flying leaves layers and place them below all the other layers. Scale them down as well. After that, bring the bottle PNG and the orange fruit PNG to the top. Now, let's add text. Select the text tool, click on the canvas, and type orange. Highlight the text, and choose a suitable font. I'll use the Alien League font. Scale it up to the desired size. Now, let's align the text on the composition. I will scale it up a bit more and center it on the composition. Next, select the orange fruit layer and bring it to the top. Adjust its position so that it sits on top of the text. Then, select the flying leaf PNG and adjust its position accordingly. Now, select the orange bottle. Go to the Effects and Presets panel and search for Wiggle. We will apply two wiggle effects: wiggle position and wiggle rotation. First, double-click on wiggle position to apply it to the bottle. Set the wiggle speed to 0.3 and decrease the wiggle amount. Next, double-click on wiggle rotation to apply it to the bottle. Again, set the wiggle speed to 0.3 and decrease the wiggle amount. Let's play the animation to see the bottle moving. The wiggle effect looks nice and smooth. Next, we will apply a rotation effect to the flying leaf PNG. Select the flying leaf layer, press R for rotation. Move the timeline indicator to the 2.5 second mark since each flavor will stay in the frame for 2.5 seconds. Then, click on the stopwatch next to rotation to create a keyframe. Next, move the timeline indicator back to the first frame and set the rotation to -2 degrees for a subtle rotation effect. Now, select the orange text layer. Search for Slow Fade On in the Effects and Presets panel and double-click on it to apply the effect to the text layer. Let's preview the effect. The fade is a bit too slow. Select the orange text layer and press U to reveal the keyframes. Adjust the keyframes closer together to make the fade in faster. After adjusting the keyframes, let's preview the animation. Next, we need to create a new solid layer. Go to Layer, New, Solid. Move this solid layer below all the other layers. Go to the Effects and Presets panel and search for Gradient Ramp. Double-click on Gradient Ramp to apply it to the solid layer. Choose an orange shade for the gradient, starting with a darker orange. Change the ramp shape to radial ramp. Swap the colors and adjust the gradient positions to your preference. Once you're satisfied with the gradient, select all the layers except the solid layer. Pre-compose these layers by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus C on your keyboard. Name the pre-composed layer Orange. Now, let's animate the position of the orange pre-composed layer so it comes from the bottom to its original position. Select the pre-composed layer and press P for position. Click on the stopwatch next to position to create a keyframe. Move the timeline indicator 5 frames forward and add another keyframe. Now, go back to the first frame and move the pre-composed layer all the way downwards. Select both keyframes and press F9 to apply Easy Ease. The orange layer will stay on the frame for 2.5 seconds. Move the timeline indicator to the 2.5 second mark. At this point, the orange layer will move out of the frame. Create another keyframe here. Then move 5 frames forward and move the layer all the way downwards again. Next, go to the project panel and duplicate the orange pre-composed layer by pressing Ctrl plus D on the keyboard. Rename this duplicated layer to the second flavor, kiwi. Drag and drop the kiwi layer above the orange pre-composed layer. The point where the orange flavor starts moving downwards is where the kiwi pre-composed layer will start. Move the kiwi layer to align with the keyframe where the orange layer starts moving downwards. This ensures a seamless transition between the two flavors. At this point, the kiwi layer will come from the top to its original position. Press P for position. Click on the stopwatch next to position to create a keyframe. Move the timeline indicator 5 frames forward and add another keyframe. Now, go back to the first frame and move the kiwi layer all the way to the top. Select both keyframes and press F9 to apply Easy Ease. Double-click on the pre-composed kiwi layer to open it. We will now replace the orange elements with kiwi ones. First, change the text. Select the text layer and change it to kiwi. Align it properly on the composition. Next, to replace the orange fruit and orange bottle with the kiwi equivalents, we need to import the kiwi files. Go to File, Import and select the kiwi fruit and the kiwi bottle. Import these files. Select the orange fruit layer. In the project panel, select the kiwi fruit layer and drag and drop it onto the orange fruit layer while holding the Alt key. This will replace the orange fruit with the kiwi fruit. Repeat this process to replace the orange bottle with the kiwi bottle. Go back to the main composition and preview the animation. If it seems too fast, we can adjust the keyframes to slow it down a bit. To do this, move the keyframes slightly to the right. Select the keyframes for both the orange and kiwi layers and move them 10 frames forward. This ensures that when the orange layer is leaving the frame, the kiwi layer is entering the frame at the same speed. At the point where the orange layer is leaving the frame and the kiwi layer is entering, we should also change the colors of the solid layer. Select the solid layer, go to its effects controls, and click on the stopwatch next to Start Color and End Color to create keyframes. Move to the frame where the orange is about to leave the frame. To see the keyframes of the solid layer, select the solid layer and press U. Add a keyframe at this point by clicking on the stopwatch next to Start Color and End Color. Next, move to the frame where the orange has completely left and the kiwi is fully in the frame. Change the start color and end color of the solid layer to match the kiwi theme. Make the end color a darker tone for a nice gradient effect. Let's preview the animation. We will follow the same steps for the next two flavors. At this point, the kiwi flavor will start to leave the frame. Add a blank keyframe. Now, move 10 frames forward. The shortcut to move 10 frames forward is Ctrl plus Shift plus right arrow key. Move the kiwi layer to the top of the composition. Go to the project panel and duplicate the kiwi pre-composed layer by pressing Ctrl plus D on the keyboard. Rename the duplicated layer to the third flavor, cherry. Drag and drop it onto the timeline. Move the cherry layer to the point where the kiwi is about to leave the frame. With the cherry layer selected, press P for position again. Click on the stopwatch next to position. Move 10 frames forward. Add a blank keyframe. Go back to the first frame, and move the cherry layer all the way downwards. Double-click on the cherry pre-composed layer to open it. Change the text from kiwi to cherry and align the text on the composition. To replace the kiwi flavors with cherry ones, let's first import the cherry flavors. Select them and import them into the project. First, select the kiwi fruit PNG. In the project panel, select the cherry fruit, drag and drop it onto the kiwi fruit while holding the Alt key on the keyboard to replace it. Next, select the kiwi bottle. Find the cherry bottle in the project panel and drag and drop it onto the kiwi bottle while holding the Alt key on the keyboard to replace it. Now, return to the main composition. Expand the area to see the solid layer and its keyframes. At this point, add a blank keyframe to the start color and end color of the solid layer. Move 10 frames forward and change the start color and end color to a tint of red and a shade of red. Preview the animation to ensure the transition looks smooth. Now at this point cherry will move out of the frame. So select cherry layer. Add a blank key here. Move 10 frames forward. Move this cherry layer downward. Go to the project panel and duplicate the kiwi, or any other pre-composed layer, by pressing Ctrl plus D on the keyboard. Rename it to mango. Drag the mango pre-composed layer and drop it onto the timeline above the cherry layer. Move the mango layer to the point where the cherry is about to leave. With the mango layer selected, press P for position. Click on the stopwatch next to position. Move 10 frames forward and add a blank keyframe. Now, move 10 frames backward, move the mango layer to the top. Double-click on the mango pre-composed layer. Import the mango flavors by going to File, Import. Import the mango bottle and mango fruit. Select the kiwi fruit layer. Then, in the project panel, select the mango fruit. Press and hold the Alt key and drag and drop the mango fruit onto the kiwi fruit layer. Next, select the kiwi bottle layer. Press and hold the Alt key and drag and drop the mango bottle onto the kiwi bottle layer. Replace the text kiwi with mango and align it on the composition. Return to the main composition. Move to the frame where the cherry is about to leave. Add a blank keyframe here. Move 10 frames forward. Change all the red tints and shades to yellow tints and shades to match the mango flavor. After completing the mango animation, clean up the workspace by removing unnecessary properties and closing all panels. Since the mango will stay on the screen for 2.5 seconds, move to that point. Adjust the background color of the mango flavor to a more suitable shade. Move the timeline indicator to the 10-second mark. Press P for position and add a blank keyframe here. Move 10 frames forward and move the mango layer all the way to the top. Now, open the proportional grid for better alignment. The final part of the animation will involve displaying 4 rectangles on the screen, each representing a flavor. Utilize the proportional grid to ensure consistent sizing and alignment for the rectangles representing each flavor. Each rectangle will occupy 2 columns. Draw the first rectangle using the rectangle tool and give it an orange color for the first flavor, which is orange. Duplicate the rectangle layer by pressing Ctrl+D. Move it to the right slightly after 2 columns. Give the second rectangle a green color for the kiwi flavor. Duplicate this rectangle layer again. Adjust its position to the right. Give it a red color for the cherry flavor. Duplicate this rectangle layer once more for the mango flavor. Move it all the way to the right side. Assign it a yellow color for the mango flavor. Select all the rectangles and trim them from the start by pressing Alt plus left square bracket. Now, apply position animation to the rectangles. Move the timeline indicator 10 seconds forward. Select the first and third rectangles. Press P for position. Add a blank keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch next to position. Move back 10 frames and move them to the top. You can now turn off the proportional grid. Next, select the second and last layers. Move 10 frames forward. Press P for position. Click on the stopwatch next to position. Move back 10 frames and move them all the way down. Remove the stroke from all the layers. The mango color gradient appears weird after the mango layer has left the frame. Let's change it to white. Set both the start color and end color to white. Preview the animation. Select all the keyframes and press F9 to ease them. Adjust the graph editor accordingly. Now, go back to the project panel and drop each flavored bottle onto the timeline. Start with the mango bottle and then proceed with the remaining flavors. Select all the bottles and decrease their scale. Position each bottle according to its respective background color: orange, green, yellow, and red. Align all the bottles vertically and then distribute them horizontally. Apply a wiggle effect to the bottles. Let's start with the orange bottle. Search for wiggle position in the Effects and Presets panel. Double-click on wiggle position to apply it to the bottle. Adjust the wiggle speed to 0.2 and the wiggle amount to 20. At this point, trim the layer by pressing Alt plus left square bracket. Apply the wiggle rotation effect to the orange bottle by double-clicking on wiggle rotation. Set the wiggle speed to 0.2 and the wiggle amount to 8. Select all of them, press Ctrl+C to copy. Now select all the other bottles and paste this effect by pressing Ctrl+V on the keyboard. Ensure that all the bottle layers are positioned to appear at approximately the 11-second mark. To make the bottles appear gradually, set opacity keyframes, and click on the stopwatch next to opacity. Move 5 frames forward, add a blank keyframe, and set the opacity to 0 for the keyframe before. Finally, add text using the text tool. Type, "Enjoy summertime." Highlight the text, adjust the paragraph spacing, and decrease the font size. Decrease the size of the text and select a suitable font for it. Adjust the spacing between paragraphs and align the text on the composition. Rotate the text to the desired angle. Apply a text effect from the animation presets. Double-click to apply this effect to the text. Since the effect is too intense, let's adjust it. Select the text layer and press U to reveal the keyframes. Delete all the keyframes except the initial ones. At this point, trim the layer by pressing Alt plus left square bracket. Now, it's easier to see the keyframes. Select all the keyframes except the first two and delete them. Let's preview the animation. I think the white space stays on the frame for too long. To improve the pacing of the animation, select the mango pre-composed layer and press U to reveal all its keyframes. Adjust the keyframes so that the mango moves faster, reducing the white space. Similarly, adjust the keyframes of the solid layer to match the timing of the mango layer. Preview the animation to ensure the changes look smooth and coherent. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Ace Designs.